All right, people, so let's get right into this video. You saw the thumbnail. Jordynne Grace, Jada Parker, Obafemi, Trick Williams. Now, these are four people that I see as being ready for the main roster. Now, they have to have somebody, they have to have names on the roster. Otherwise, it's less interesting when you don't have people that can keep things going. You see, this is the problem with NXT being what it is. It's a developmental league that they're trying to put across as big time. So therefore, if they lose these stars, then it's like, okay, we just lost. Just imagine if that was to happen. Example, WWE makes several cuts, right? Now imagine if those four people I just named were four that they cut. Then people would go, damn, it's less interesting, right? So if they go to Raw or SmackDown, it's like it's still less interesting for NXT. Now, why is this process taking so long? Think about this. Back in the day, when they didn't have a developmental league to work with, and they had, I think, it was one of those, I remember one of those independent leagues they started dealing with. I forget who it was, but that's where Brock Lesnar, John Cena, all those guys were there at some point having matches together. But look at this process. They don't have anybody that they know how to push to get to that point where they are that superstar. They are like on that level of what The Rock was, or Stone Cold, or John Cena. They don't know how to do that anymore. They don't have that. It's a different business model. It's a different mindset. Okay? They're even more greedy now than they've ever been. So, when you look at NXT, like example, the year that NXT defeated SmackDown and Raw at Survivor Series, look at the people that they had, though. I mean, think about it. Because even like when you talk about somebody like Aleister Black, when you talk about somebody like Austin Aries, somebody like Keith Lee, Mia Yim, these are not, Cowboy James Storm. He didn't stay that long, but Samoa Joe. These are guys that were veterans in this business. These wasn't a bunch of rookies, which is what they are now. So this is why I say when you look at where the process of where they came from and look at what they're doing now, let's look at TNA. When TNA had the Hogans over there, fuck Hulk Hogan, bitch ass, but they had Hulk Hogan, Jeff Hardy, Rob Van Dam, Hall and Nash, X-Pac, they had all these people over there, right? Tell me, which one of these wrestlers would take the same deal that TNA is taking right now, where their top stars are going to the WWE looking like trash? I'll give you an example of something for people that don't pay attention. I explained in my last video about when Kenny Omega was the TNA champion, and the fact that he's an established superstar, he's an established wrestler that can go in that ring, bottom line. So Moose didn't lose to some poo-putt. But let's look at this, for example. Moose. Okay, TNA's Moose went over there, title versus title. Wasn't title versus title, but champion versus champion. Moose versus Obafemi. Who loses? Moose. Couple of weeks before that, maybe a month before that, I watched Moose over at Fourth Rope Wrestling losing to Zilla Fatu, a rookie. So your champion comes over to NXT and gets beat. Jordynne Grace, when she wrestled against the little short midget, she lost her time. She lost that match, and she was the TNA Women's Knockout Champion. Okay, she lost that match. Joe Hendry, once again, comes out at freaking WrestleMania and gets embarrassed. Then he turns around and loses to Trick Williams. Joe Hendry's been wrestling professionally for 11 years. Trick Williams has been wrestling for 7. Once again, here you have a guy 10 years or more losing to this upcoming prospect of a wrestler. I think Trick Williams is good. I think Obafemi is good. Jordynne Grace, and I'm gonna tell you something. Every time I turn around, Jada Parker is in a match where she's talking and promising to do something and promising, but she always falls short. At some point, the welcome wears out. And in fact, her reaction isn't as complimentary as it used to be. They used to give it up for her. They used to be chanting, Miss Parker, Miss Parker. It's not the same with her anymore. And this is what happens when you start to see people and they win a certain match, or you put them in a certain situation where you think that person is about to get that push, and then all of a sudden they don't get it. So you have, TNA in a position where these guys have nothing to offer without TNA, without NXT. Like on their own, nobody's talking about, first of all, nobody's really talking about TNA, period. But in terms of TNA being a company that has, vested interest in their pay-per-views or their show. I mean, Explosion is like, what is Explosion? What exactly is Explosion? This is a company that's been around 20 plus years, and they are in a position where they don't have a major TV deal. Like, Access TV is not something that I've never in my life had anybody even tell me, hey man, I'm watching such and such on Access TV tonight. Like, I've never heard. I don't even have access to Access TV. I don't even, I just did my little research on it. It's not a popular channel. Now, it's not like how you have AEW have, Dynamite and Collision, WWE with Raw and SmackDown. They just have Dynamite. I mean, they have Impact, but they don't have anything for Explosion is a YouTube show. So what I'm saying is, with all of these great strides that people are imagining in their head for TNA, none of their products are, boom, it's just boosting, or everybody's, no, that's not what's happening. That's not what's happening. People watch the best from your promotion lose in indies matches against up-and-coming wrestlers, your veterans. And then when you look at the rest of the roster for TNA, Masha Slamovich, people believed in her because when she beat Jordan Grace, the crowd they erupted, they were into it, they were giving it up for her, you deserve it and all that, and now they barely give a reaction to Masha Slamovich. And the best that you had to offer from TNA was Joe fucking Hendry? Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? All right, case in point. Nobody in TNA has star power. Nobody in TNA stands out above the rest. All Joe Hendry is a gimmick. That's all he is a gimmick. There's nothing special about his wrestling ability. He shows some power in his matches at times against certain people, but that's about it. But there's nothing about him. There's no real star power there. No quality in him as a wrestler where you look at him and say, man, that guy's special. I don't even know what the hell people see in this guy. I just don't. A little stupid, silly, turn around and smile gimmick, like, come out playing his guitar. Elias is over there. This is what TNA is. They are a home for mid-card guys to come to their company and shine and outshine their top stars. And see, wrestling has always had this. If a guy comes from WWE, right, and he was a mid-card guy, he's going to outshine your top-level guys. Makes your company look super weak. They don't know how to put stories together. They don't know how to put matches together that make sense. They just take these people from WWE, put them in a ring, throw the belt around their waist instantaneously, and all of a sudden they think, what, ratings boost? Not how it works, man. That is not how it works. And that's where TNA is, where if you look at their fan base, nobody, I've seen people wear AEW shirts and hats, and I've seen this shit where I'm at in my travel. I've seen it. I've yet to see anybody wear a TNA shirt, a TNA hat, anything. I've yet to see anybody with any TNA merchandise. Okay, do I personally care about that? No. Point what I'm saying to you is they are a company that's in a position of basically holding on to the cape of the WWE as it flies around, just holding on to it, trying to be seen. I can't picture Scott D'Amore going along with something like this. This is not even respectable. I can't see these conversations going any kind of way other than Triple H or whoever's there telling TNA how it's going to go, and they just accept whatever they say. Because you guys, let's just say at some point Joe Hendry regains the title or another TNA. Okay, if a TNA guy that wins that belt is somebody that's already there, how much is the TNA audience going to believe in this person or get behind this person just because? Because truthfully, if you look at right now, when these wrestlers come out, they barely get a reaction, man. And the ones who, like these rookies that come out, these guys are up and coming. So who is it in your company? Who that can beat Trick Williams that TNA fans are going to feel like, yeah, they brought the belt back home? I don't even think that the TNA fans care. I think that these guys, they just cheer. Like, if you listen to them, like I said, they cheer more for NXT wrestlers than they cheer for the TNA wrestlers. So this is a position of, hey, man, we're desperate right now. We think that this is going to give us more exposure and help us. Yet, nothing's really changing for us. Their viewership what isn't doing anything different. Same viewership. And there's nobody there that people even see is on that level of being the type of wrestler that can take that company to the next level, to get more eyes on the product. Nobody. So what are they doing? We need to use a fucking up-and-coming guy from TNA, from NXT, to carry a TNA product because we don't believe in our talent. I'm telling you guys, it's no different from, the WWE, using The Rock to boost ratings instead of the young talent that they have, because they just don't have belief in it. But The Rock is a seasoned veteran. The Rock comes out, people just, oh, he's so good on the mic and all, whatever. But at the same time, this is my point. Where is this young talent? Where is these wrestlers that can go in that ring and perform? I honestly, the fact that people would tune in to watch someone talk versus to tune in and watch an actual solid match is some sad shit. But that's the WWE diehards. Hey, man, let us fucking have a guy come out and talk for fucking 30 minutes and waste our time talking about a bunch of shit just to do the same thing next fucking week. And so it's become a roasting session. This is the main course of a WWE show. Let's see who can talk the most shit to each other. We don't care if the match is good or not, but then if the match isn't good, we're going to complain about it. But if it is good, we don't give a fuck because the story wasn't there. Guys, this is where TNA is. They've lost their fucking identity, and they look like a very desperate company. They look like a bunch of rank amateurs. And the fact of the matter is, Trick Williams has done nothing on SmackDown or Raw. And he can come straight from NXT and defeat Joe Hendry. But he can't defeat a top-level star on SmackDown or Raw. They're not going to put him in. And, look at what they're doing to Carmelo Hayes. And we know between the two, Carmelo was seen as the better of the two between him and Trick. But God damn it. Now that Trick Williams is the TNA champion, well, we're not ready to give him anything. He had that, I think, North American championship at one point or whatever, but we're not ready to give him anything in the WWE. Hey, good idea. Why not make him TNA champion? They don't have shit for, they have shit for a roster. He should be able to win a championship there. We're helping build him up, and guess what? Then he'll come up in the ranks of NXT when we're ready to put him in on SmackDown or Raw. He might get the Carmelo Hayes treatment because Carmelo Hayes isn't doing shit. And you look at all the people that came from NXT. What are they doing right now on SmackDown or Raw? And the people that have come and gone, what have they done once they... Shayna Baszler was a beast when she had that NXT Women's Championship. Look at how she got treated when she came to the main roster. It just goes on. So for the people that have come and gone, and you're the same people talking about Mercedes Moné should go back to, yeah, right. You guys have that slave mentality. And at the end of the day, when people are happy, they are content with what's going on, they are satisfied, they have fulfillment, that's what matters. It's not about what the fuck somebody's telling you this person should do this because you prefer them only because of a bias and a hatred, which is so stupid. But this is what has happened, with these companies. They don't know and they have no belief in their young talent, and they don't know how to build these stars. And that's why this process is taking so long. Every time I see Jada fucking Parker, man, she'll either win a match off the skin of her teeth, or lose a high-profile match after talking so much shit. And it's only high-profile because it's a match to get her to the next level, but she always comes up short. Over Finney has had that belt. Undertaker come out and tell him that he got guys on my show that is ready to come for you and this and that, whatever. And it's always the same thing. You're only a big fish in a small pond in NXT. As soon as you get to the main roster and they start to put you in matches that you shouldn't be in, and you just lose and lose and lose, it's the same type of process. How do we bring them back? Turn them heel. It's always the same thing. Always the same thing. Jordynne Grace, it's like, it's so disappointing the position they have her in. Jordynne Grace should have never been in NXT. She should have came straight to the main fucking roster. And because she didn't, the fans are looking at her like, well, maybe she's not what we thought she was, because she's not on SmackDown or Raw. She's in NXT. So Booker T and these guys can sit here all they want. NXT got the best women's roster on the planet. Yeah. All that bullshit. No. They're a developmental group. And it's taking way too long to get these guys in, to put them in a position that they need to be in. So all of this bringing Raw, SmackDown, people over to NXT to try to boost their ratings, and they still, even with Rhea coming over and CM Punk and all these guys, Undertaker showing their face, even The Rock showing his face, still couldn't get a million views. Nobody gives a fuck about that, except for the diehards that just take whatever they offer. So you're seeing a lack of belief in their stars, and it's not new. Just look at their history. And you're seeing them being held back because they are good. And that's why I put them forward on the thumbnail. And you're seeing TNA show you, without the involvement of NXT, there's nothing about our product that's going to attract anybody. Just the people that's normally been watching. And it's just something to watch on Thursday because nothing else is there. NXT, take them away. And it's like, what is the TNA crowd even there for? They're barely even cheering for anybody other than the Hardys. And now that Nick Nemeth is a heel, they don't cheer for him anymore. And fucking Joe Hendry. That's the best you got to offer? Yeah. This is what happens when you find yourself having a second place mentality. I don't think Scott D'Amore had any of that inside of him. And I feel like creatively, I don't know what happened, but I can't see Scott D'Amore agreeing to this type of shit. It is what it is, though. TNA, don't be fooled. They're not where they should be, and it's their own fault. WWE, you're holding back your NXT talent. That's all I got for you guys right now. I'll catch you guys on the next video.